Hey there, my name is Chris, and for the Chainlink 2022 hackathon, I put together an app called CaptChains. Now, if you spent any amount of time on the web, you probably encountered a captcha that looks like this, where you almost have to act like an AI and select parts of an image before you can authenticate and prove that you're not a robot. Now, the CAPTCHA model has evolved over the years, and you might be familiar with some of these. In particular, one of the most popular ones is reCAPTCHA, which actually was got bought by Google in 2009. And most of these are actually centralized in that Google's collecting the data, they're storing the data, and they're able to learn from it. So using blockchain as a theme, CAPTCHAs actually lends itself quite well to it, in the sense that we can have a smart contract that proves whether or not the person is authorized to see content or prove that they're human, and also have all the stuff logged or all the events logged as events that are emitted from the contract using Chainlink. Now, the way this works is I first connect my MetaMask wallet, and this is using Moralis under the hood to connect to the Binance Smart Chain, but could absolutely use Polygon as well. Once the user logs in, they're immediately able to create their first CAPTCHA. So what I'm going to do is just create an example name or identifier for the CAPTCHA that I'm creating, and upload an image. And as part of each authentication, there's two steps. So first is matching an image, and the image is served by IPFS and Filecoin. The second one is computed dynamically, and this is actually consulting an API call on the Chainlink contract that gets deployed in a minute here, and asking the user to validate the answer to a question that gets saved on the CAPTCHA itself. When I click create, there's a two-step process that occurs. First is deploying the contract that represents the CAPTCHA and all the metadata associated with it. And every time a user attempts or fails a CAPTCHA, an event gets emitted from that contract. The second thing is that the entry gets saved in Moralis against my particular wallet, so I can come back to it and view the history. So once this is done, I get a success message. I can view the created contract on Polygon and verify that it was successful. The second item is I can actually view the CAPTCHA URL, but I'll show you that from the dashboard. And lastly, I can go see all the CAPTCHAs I've created from this main page within the CaptChains app. So here's the one I just created. There were a couple previous ones I made. The first thing to do to use it is you fund the contract with Link. And this again is going against Binance, but could also be on any low fee network such as Polygon. When you fund that, it takes a couple of moments. You can now view the image associated with the keyword, or you can try a preview. And so what happens here is this CAPTCHA would get embedded on somebody's website, and instead of selecting like the boats or selecting crosswalks, now we're actually asking the user to do research to authenticate themselves as a user. And in this case, it's actually pulling the Covalent API when I click update price. And as the user, I'm setting the value of the Ethereum last price, and I'm now prompted to enter in what that value is to a certain degree of error. Second, I can also see that exact image. So this pencil that was associated when I created it, and I can now validate my request. If that's successful, I get a success message, or if it's not successful, for example, if my keyword is incorrect, I would get a failure. And this can be customized to have a custom callback and any sort of corresponding error. Every single time an entry is created, the Moralis admin panel is updated. So if I click refresh, you can see my new entry has been added, as well as myself as the owner. And this could work for any number of users that are creating CAPTCHAs. And as attempts are made, events will be emitted from the contract that can be indexed or queried, almost as a immutable history against that CAPTCHA that isn't owned by any singular party, such as Google in the case of reCAPTCHA. Lastly, all the code is available on my GitHub. I encourage you to check it out, but that's pretty much the CaptChain project, and thanks for your time.